What's up? What's up? How are you all doing today? What is going on? Hope y'all are having a great Wednesday morning, afternoon, etc. Depending on where you are in the world. Um, yeah, it's another Wednesday, another time for Live with Nana. So drop up in the comments. Let me know you're here. Say a hello. Because it's gonna be a great conversation about one of my favorite topics. Color, baby, color. All right. So if you are joining me for the first time, welcome. Pull up a seat, pull up a chair. I'm Anana Badu. I am a style coach. I'm a speaker, stylist, image consultant, however you want to phrase it. I talk about all things surrounding personal style, confidence, and authenticity for women of color in the workplace. And yes, today we are going to be talking about like I said, one of my favorite topics, which is color. And also one of the things that women struggle with the most when it comes to their wardrobe. And that is, how do you infuse color into your closet and into your style? Um, and what that means and how and what effect it has on the impression that you make in the workplace. Okay. um so if you're joining the conversation live, and even if you're catching it on the replay, definitely drop in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions about color. Happy to address them, talk through them, so that you are definitely feeling more comfortable about moving forward with color and understanding how it can definitely elevate your style game. So, first things first, like I mentioned, so many women, when I am having discovery calls with them or even going to their closet and I'm entering their closet, one of the biggest areas that they struggle in or have a deficit in is having more color in their wardrobe. For many women, when they open up their closets, it's so much, there's a sea of black, right? There's so much black. There's so many just neutral colors, whether there's your grays, your navy blues, your khakis, okay, shades of brown, some beige in the mix, right? Like you get a lot of these standard typical colors that are very safe, that um are colors that are necessary in pairing different outfits together, that are very easy and very helpful to do it in a very successful way, especially if you're talking about your workwear. um they play a huge role. And it's easy to put the black pants, black jacket, navy blue skirt, white shirt. You're boom, you're out the door, and everything is pulled together, no questions. It's a very classic look, right? But what often happens is that a lot of women start feeling like, and this might be you start feeling like you are in a bit of a rut. It feels monotonous, right? It just feels a little tired. It's like constantly the same combinations of outfits, constantly the same vibes with the colors in your closet. And one of the most important things about color that you might not know is that color emits energy. We talk a little bit about what different colors mean in a moment. Um, but color has energy to it. And so if you're opening your closet and you're seeing a lot of muted, dark, heavy colors, it has a direct impact on your energy and how you feel when you start getting dressed. Okay. So, one of the biggest reasons why I am such a fan of encouraging women, and everyone for that matter, but I work specifically with women, um, to have more vibrant colors in your closet is because it is such an energy booster and it's such a confidence booster. And that's really important for you when you're thinking about your branding, when you are thinking about the impression that you make. It has a more of a long lasting effect for people. People really remember someone when they do wear color, period. All full stops. Okay. So there's a couple of things that are at play there. You are definitely, you're not positioning yourself for the ultimate impact in your career, especially when we talk about networking opportunities, doing interviews. Like, you want to be creating a way for people to remember who you are, right? And when people think about who you are, your visual impact is just as strong and important and plays a role just as your accolades, your resume, your talents, your skills, your communication. All of these things come together to really comprise your image. And so when you think about that more holistically, you'll understand that you really want to not leave that off the table, right? And just say, I'm just going to stick with the all black situation. No, 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 and no, no, no. We're going to need a pop of color up in there. Yes, ma'am. That's what we're going to need. Okay. So we definitely want to be incorporating some color into your closet because it's a huge differentiator. It is going to set you apart from others. And I've shared this before, and so many of my posts and like other conversations talking about networking, going to different conferences and such. Like, when somebody sees you in a sea of hundreds, thousands of people, folks who are wearing colors stand out just visually. Like, and people are drawn to the colors. I can't tell you how many times this happens to me, and I do it intentionally when I go into spaces. Like, I intentionally am going to wear color. Now, me, I love all the colors. I'm gonna wear a whole bunch of colors. But you're going to find that sweet spot for you about what really resonates with you. It might just be one piece, right? We're going to talk about breakdown about different tips and such. But you do want to have color in your wardrobe because it is going to allow you to visually stand out and people are going to gravitate towards you. This is also a great networking tool if you're an introvert, or and really, quite frankly, if you just be tired of networking sometimes, because networking is exhausting. It is energy that you are emitting to walk up to people, to introduce yourself, to spark some conversation, to have something to share. Like, you have to think through all of these things, and you want to do it in a genuine way. You don't want to be like dry and crusty with your stuff. Right? Like, you want to do all of these things and have some meaningful conversations and connections with folks. So you can use your wardrobe as a strategic tool when it comes to breaking the ice and having conversations with people, especially when you're engaging with other women, because women love fashion, women love clothing, women love style, right? And women take notice of it. Even if they don't love it, they notice. They completely notice and observe all the time. We all do, but women especially, okay? So understand that color is an energy, it is a vibration, it is an attraction, it is a differentiator for you. And so it's really a piece that you want to incorporate up in your closet, okay? So I hope that helps you kind of baseline things. If you're like, do I really need to put color in my closet? Me and these blacks and grays been rocking for a whole decade plus. Are we doing all right? No. Like, it's time to set yourself apart. And especially if you are trying to position yourself for more in your career, if you are positioning yourself for a promotion, if you are on the leadership track, like if you are looking to start and run your own business, if you're already in your own business, right? you you want to you want to attract the opportunities you desire. So let's allow everything that's part of you to be at its best, right? So that includes your appearance, your behavior, your communications, your digital presence, your skills, your talents, like all of these elements, all of them coming together, fusing together to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. So if you're talking about elevating yourself in your career, you can't do that and not think about how you're going to elevate your wardrobe to be in alignment with the kind of image you want to have, right? Because it might not be the image that you have right now. All right. And I guarantee you, everyone who's a leader, especially, whether you are a CEO, whether you are, a director, an attorney, a lawyer, whatever industry and space that you're in, it doesn't matter. A lot of the rules, and not even a rules, but a lot of the environment and the way that people see and interact with each other, a lot of those basic things are the same, right? So you really want to find, again, those ways to differentiate yourself and set yourself apart from your peers. How are you doing that? How are you doing that in your work products? How are you doing that in your branding and your personal brand, and how you're communicating, and how, of course, you're showing up visually? Like, how are you doing that? What's the things, what are the things that are special about you that make you stand out, right? That's a question that you really want to be keen on answering. And so when we start to think about our wardrobe and how we're showing up in these streets, we want to make sure that all of that is in complete alignment, baby. Okay. So when we talk about color, like, that's one of the things that you can easily do. So let's talk a little bit about, like, if you are nervous about color, right? If it's like, what do I do first, Nana? Where do I start? I do want to incorporate color, but I don't know where I should be playing around with color. So I would definitely, number one, there's a framework I always talk about called the CAB: clothing, accessories, beauty. Clothing, accessories, beauty. You can identify where you want to add color in each of these spaces. So when we talk about your clothing, right? What are the pieces that you wear, that you love to wear, that you feel the best in? Okay. It might be a blazer. Every woman, every person working should own have a fabulous blazer. I don't care what you do. Like, a blazer is a power piece. It's a fly piece. It could be super sharp and tailored. It could be a little oversized. Like, there's so many ways, so many styles of blazers. You want to have a good collection in your closet. And it might be part of a suit. It might not be. But you definitely want to pick some that have great colors. And the best place to start when you're even thinking about what colors to select are those jewel tones, okay? Like, especially if you're talking about adding some vibrancy in the mix, okay? Jewel tones are a great place to start. Your jewel tones are colors like emerald green, like a cranberry red. When you think about that great red apple, it's that color. It can be like, I'm wearing more of a tangerine orange today. If you're bold, you might go in that direction. There's so many different ways. It might even be a fuchsia, but like, when you're starting out, I think the three colors that work really well if you are looking to add more punch and more vibrancy, and you're like, I'm about to just go for it, are going to be fuchsia, emerald green, and a great cranberry red. Okay, fuchsia, an emerald green, or a cranberry red. Those are three colors that just add a great punch to your wardrobe. So when you're looking for clothing, start with those pieces that you love the most. Thank Portia. Start with those pieces that you love the most, right? And so if it's that blazer, go with that. I definitely recommend that you get some tops in bolder colors. You want to have a good collection of tops. You really want to have more tops than you do pants. If you are really have the goal of maximizing your wardrobe and having versatility, and you're like, I want to be able to easily mix and match things, right? You want to have more tops than pants, because then it's just a ratio thing, right? And so I always like to say, you could have for every pair of pants that you have, you want to be able to have 2 or 3 tops that go with it, right? So hey y'all, hey Anika, hey okay, it says Dr. Judy, right? Hey, I don't see her comments, but hey Judy, good morning. So when you are, thinking about those clothing pieces, right? You want to definitely have that blazer on point, and you want to definitely have those tops on point. Okay. So you want to have a good mix of tops. And again, well, not even again, but as you are thinking about those pieces with those colors that work really well, the emerald green, the fuchsia, the red, think about getting these pieces and just starting with a solid color, right? There's definitely a difference between colors and prints. We're not going to break out all in the prints right now for this conversation. You can definitely incorporate them because they are excellent pieces to do prints, but think just in solid colors right now. Just think about solid colors. I just want to put that out there in case you were like, oh, well, I have a top and it's mostly black and it just has a couple of, yellow specks. Yeah, that's good. That might be a good place to start. But what kind of blazer you gonna put on top? You ain't gonna put no black blazer right on top of that. Unless those specks of yellow are popping, no, they're gonna get lost when you put that blazer on top, right? So I want you thinking about this really in terms of like some great solid colors. Okay, question, how to infuse color for interviews? Awesome question. So definitely when you're thinking about interviews, that aligns really with the conversation we're having right now. When you're thinking about interviews, especially if you are probably predominantly doing interviews, I shouldn't say predominantly, but you are probably doing a fair amount of interviews on Zoom, right? And things might be virtual. So the same rules apply, but if you are thinking about how to infuse color for interviews, it's definitely going to be about the CAB: color, accessories, beauty. Where can you add a piece of color in these areas? You might be doing it in all 3. I definitely recommend that you do it in at least 2. So when it comes to the clothes, what's going to be the piece that has color? I highly recommend, again, that you're going to do it with your blazer, or you're going to do it with your top, or if you're going for a dress, you're going to do it with the dress. Okay. If you are doing your interviews virtually like this, like you're not even seeing the bottom half, right? But you immediately get this yellow and you get this orange, and it makes a punch. It pops very well visually, and you're going to remember me as I have this conversation, right? So for you, think about the piece, right? Is it going to be the top underneath? Is it going to be the blazer? Right? Think about that color that's going to be in the piece of clothing, the garment that really covers the body. Okay. So again, it's going to be typically that blazer if you're going for a suit or going for a blazer with a pant or skirt. It's going to be in the top that you're wearing, because you might not want to do a blazer. You don't have to do a blazer for an interview. You could go with a really great blouse and just have a great blouse in a fuchsia color. It's not a requirement that you wear a blazer for interviews. So if you feel like that, let that go. Okay. You could do it with a really great blouse, again, in a fuchsia color. Beautiful. And, if it's not just that, you can then do it in a dress. Again, with a dress, it's all one piece. We love a dress for an interview because you just put on the dress And that's it, right? After that, you're just accessorizing. So let that dress be in a great emerald green. Let it be in a great red if you really want to showcase your boldness. And I'm gonna talk a little bit too about colors and the meanings of colors in a second. But you really want to thanks, girl. Is first of all, shout out to Portia. Wait, other side. Because didn't you give me this pen? I feel like Portia got me this pen for Christmas. Okay. Thank you. I feel like if that's not true, let me know. But you really want to be giving thought to the colors that are closest to your face when you are thinking about interviews, when you're thinking about networking, because you definitely want to make the visual impact. And then you want people to focus here, right? You want people to focus in on your face. So I highly, highly, highly recommend, this is what I was saying earlier, that when you're thinking about buying color, you focus in on the tops that you're wearing, you focus in on blazers, you focus in on dresses. Okay, because those are the pieces that are, again, closest to your face. Another great thing to think about when you're adding color into your wardrobe with blazers and your tops, especially with blazers and jackets, these are the layering pieces, right? So you're going to be layering a blazer over top of something. So, like I said, I'm a color gal, so I ain't got no problem putting this lime yellow with this tangerine orange. Like, it makes me happy all day, right? But for you might be like, Nana, that orange, that's a lot for me. No problem. So maybe if you decide to do orange, maybe you're going to go a little bit darker with your orange. Or maybe for you, you're like, maybe actually I'm going to go into a teal blue because that feels a little bit better for me. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Now that you have that pop of color, you can layer that over all of your basics, the basic white blouse, the black blouse, the navy blouse. Like, you can layer it over anything. And the other thing that I love too about some of those jewel tone colors that I was talking about earlier, they're so great because they can layer over any of those colors. They layer well with the creams, the whites, the blacks, the grays. They layer so well over these colors because they're neutrals, right? So don't overthink like, oh, but I have this bright color blazer, so what goes with it, etc. If you have a closet filled with blacks and neutrals, it's going to go with all of it. So like, take that pressure off of you. Okay? So just get it. We try and make it plain. Yeah. Okay, Portia. Yeah. See, shout out to friends who know you and know your brand and know what kind of gifts to get you. So Portia got me this fabulous bin. Okay. So we thank you for that. But just really think about that. So I hope that's helpful. Emzo, about the color for your interviews. If it was, please let me know. Okay, so we're breaking down. We're talking a little bit about the cab, right? And thinking about color in that way. Like, what pieces of clothing can I add color to, right? And we talked about the blazer, your tops, your dresses, right? Now, let's talk a little bit about accessories, okay? Because accessories are also another great place to add color. All right. And I was saying this earlier that when we think about the cab, clothing, accessories, and beauty, you can add color in all three areas. I recommend you add color in at least two. Okay. So that might be in a piece of clothing, you have color, and then in an accessory, you have color. Or it's going to be a piece of clothing and in your beauty, you have color. Okay. So rock with me, track with me. So if you are doing some color in your accessories, right? Your earrings, your necklaces, those are like the easiest place, because immediately when we think accessories, we think jewelry, right? So the next time you are shopping for earrings or necklaces, or listen, holiday season is coming. Let your spouse, your friends, your mama, let them know, I want some earrings that have some color in them. Okay, and tell them the colors. They like, I want something with some red, I'm looking for something with some purple, right? A little green. Like, they don't be shy out here in this game, okay? Like, let folks know so you have a better return on trying to get a great gift that you actually wear and be like, okay, cool, this is gonna be helpful for me. Listen, ain't no shame in it, okay? Because sometimes you be like, do I want another pair of socks from you? No, I don't. Um, but here nor there, if you are actually thinking about investing in some jewelry, like the next time you're going for pieces, get a little bit of color. These earrings, I've had these earrings forever, okay? But just this little fringe of blue. And these earrings, this style, you can find these everywhere. These are not special. Like, you can get these on Amazon, child. Like, I see these earrings all over the place. But it's just that little touch of blue in the fringe on the bottom that adds a little vibe. Okay. Now mine are longer because I'm in style. I'm an entrepreneur. I own my own company. Like, I can do whatever I want. Okay. And that's my style and that's my flavor. I have a creative, colorful vibe. Okay. So it's really important. And I really preface even our conversation with this. First things first, and y'all already know me, I talk about this all the time, but you need to be clear on what your personal style is, right? Like, jump off top. You need to be very clear about what your personal style is and let that be your compass for how much color you want to infuse into your style. So definitely in this conversation, if you're joining me, you might definitely be a person who, like I was saying at the top, you have a lot of black in your closet, and color is something that you're like nervous to experiment with. So we here to knock off all of the doubt and the apprehension about color and be like, dive in, let's go. Okay. So your jewelry is an easy piece. When we talk about your earrings, they're very close to your face. Having a piece of jewelry that has some color, great conversation piece. And it's definitely an easy thing that people can say, like, oh, I love your earrings. Awesome. Thank you so much. You know what? I just purchased them and I'm actually just experimenting with color in my wardrobe. Started with my earrings. So I appreciate that. Oh, awesome. Great. Awesome. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about you. Listen, it happens all day. Icebreaker, conversation starter, like, let it flow and tell a little bit about yourself. Okay. And allow it to draw people in. So definitely find some earrings with color. All your earrings and all of your jewelry don't have to just be about the metal. It's not just, was it gold or silver? Break out of that. There are so many earrings out there that are in reds and greens and purples and pinks and zebra prints, like multiple. So your jewelry doesn't have to just be gold and silver. All right. It might have a metal and as well have some color in it because there's some other different kind of texture or material happening. All right. And a lot of times too, with color in earrings, it might be a clay material because that allows, like, some, might be going a little too deep, but it might just be another material outside of a metal. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. And so that allows you to have more of an openness when you're looking at jewelry and thinking about, what can I do? If you do love gold, or even if you do, love silver, and you love metals, especially gold, you can look at gemstones. Gemstones are great, and gemstones are often in jewel tone colors. Okay. So, even too, just keeping it simple and doing something with your birthstone is great, right? Like, I was born in May, so I always love adding a little emerald green to a situation with a necklace or with a ring, right? Like, that's a great space to do that, you know? So definitely when you're thinking about your accessories, jewelry is the first stop. Okay. Then after you get out of jewelry, think about another non-jewelry accessory that you could get in color. One of the best things that you can get with color are your glasses, honey child. Now I've gone with a white with my frames because my wardrobe is so much color. So I've actually just been neutralized the situation. And I'm like, you know what? A crisp white is going to look great against this chocolate skin and it's going to go with everything. But for you, yes, come on, May babies. For you, It might be the opposite, where your wardrobe is a lot of black and gray. So if you wear glasses, I would really encourage you to get your next frames in a color. All right. And you might be like, oh my God, Donna, what? I'm like, yes, get the color. Get the red pair of frames. Get them. Like, get them. Let that be your bold piece. If that aligns with your style, okay? And if especially like this is what I'm saying. If you know that you want to have more color in your closet, get more color in your closet. Don't come all wishy-washy like, I don't know. I'm gonna just add brown. Is that it? No, we are going for vibrant jewel tones. We're going for it. You say you want some color in your closet. Let's get some color in your closet. All right. So go for the color in your glasses. And also to allow yourself to understand that color comes in a spectrum. Okay. So with any color, you have a spectrum from light to dark. Okay. So if you take the color red, right? Listen, I'm breaking down some color theory for y'all today because this is like my space, right? So if you have the color red and you add white to the color red, just think about this like you playing with paints, right? And you have red and then you add some white paint in it and you swish it all together. That color is eventually going to turn to pink. Okay. And pink is just a light shade of red. If you have that same red and you have some black paint, and you add the black paint to it, it's going to get really dark. It's going to get like a Merlot. It's going to get like a burgundy, right? It's going to get really deep and dark. So there's a spectrum to color. You could take any color, and if you add white to it, it's going to make it lighter. If you add black to it, it's going to make it darker. So when you look at red and you look at a very light pink, like a baby pink, a blush, right? That's on the very light spectrum of the color red. Then in the middle, you've got like a cranberry red, like an apple, right? Then on the other spectrum, on the darker side, you've got that Merlot, right? That burgundy, deep, deep red. Find the red that works with you. If you are a melanated person, okay, you're going to be looking at colors that are between that cranberry red and that deep, dark Merlot. All right. You're not really going to be on the other side with the lighter colors. Okay. It's going to do nothing for you. You got the melanin, you got the richness in your skin. Colors pop. If you go with more of a lighter shade, it's not going to do anything for you. That's why a lot of muted colors fall so short on black and brown women. It does nothing for your skin. So you're going to go with some colors that got some richness to them. All right. So you're going to be looking for that cranberry red to that Merlot red. So whether that's in your clothing, in that pair of eyeglasses, do it. Do it, do it, do it. Okay, go for that. And that same theory applies for any color. All right. And that concept is called value. Okay. Welcome to Nana's School of Color Theory. You have been invited. Pull up, take a seat. All right. So understand that for yourself. So when you're looking at colors, like I said, don't play, especially if you're just starting out. Don't play in all of like the lighter shades. Go for some richness. Go for some deeper, darker colors. Go for some colors that have some great intensity and richness to them. Okay, so allow that to fuse in with your accessories. It could be with a pin or brooch. It could be with a scarf, right? It could be with a handkerchief. It could be with hats, right? There's so many different accessories that you can play around with to add a little bit of color into your wardrobe. So know the accessories you wear the most, right? And the next time that you are shopping for them, go to those colors, looking for red, look for fuchsia, look for a blue, a turquoise blue, a teal, an emerald green, maybe a lime green, okay? The other thing, and you might even notice this even as I'm talking about these different colors, like play around and get specific with your colors. If anybody is familiar with Canva is the gem of all gems. Just love playing around in Canva. But Canva is basically the new generation of PowerPoint, right? Like you can create all kinds of slides, graphics, all the things in Canva. Canva also has a really great color tool. And so if you literally, I think if you literally search on Canva for color tool, it should pop up. But it basically just allows you to play with a color. So you might take the color blue, right? And then it allows you to select on the lighter spectrum, on a brighter spectrum, on the darker spectrum. So you can play around with the different colors. So you can play around with that particular color and understand, like, ooh, what shade of this do I want to try that I like? Or maybe when I'm going shopping that I want to look for, right? So it's I say this and share that tool with y'all. Once you can have some fun playing with color, but also so that you break out of thinking like, well, I am wearing some color. I got navy blue on. I ain't talking about navy blue. Okay. I ain't talking about navy blue. Those are neutrals. Okay. Those are, it has blue is a color. And we talked about that. There's a spectrum from light to dark, and navy blue is on the darker spectrum of blue, right? But we really want you to get into some colors that have some more vibrancy to them, have some more punch, right? Like those jewel tones. So that's going to be looking like a turquoise. That might look like a teal for you, right? So I basically want you to expand the way that you think about color. That's the introduction. That is the invitation. Okay. Like Anika said, she's hiding. Yes, we have shade. Because this is the thing. You can't just be out here looking like everybody else. Like, y'all already know. Y'all already know how I feel about that. Especially when you have so much brilliance to share and you step in the room and you just blend in with the sea of other people with navy blue. There's nothing that makes you stand out. Why? Why? No, we're going to make a visual impact. Okay. So I want to invite you to expand the way that you think about colors and even your vocabulary with colors, and just being like, well, I have blue and it's navy blue. Is that enough? Let's go a step further. All right. Like playing around with other colors, even if it's like paints, even if you're just in the store and you're like, I'm looking for more vibrant colors, like allow yourself to know that if you're shopping in the section and thinking I want color, and you're still surrounded by like, that military fatigue green, that deep olive green, like that's not all the color. Okay. That is not it. Like that is not the jam. Like we want to do green. We want to really do green. All right. We are going to do it in a more bold color, like an emerald green. All right. Yes, Portia. Literally, you know what? I'm going to just be on a campaign and walk into every single, the consulting firms. That's my former life, right? Um, yeah, it's so true. In the workplace, everyone tends to wear black, everyone tends to wear navy blue. And I mean, I built my own personal brand off of having more color and vibrancy in my outfits. Like that was a part of my professional image, And so it can happen for you too, where you can definitely differentiate yourself and find the sweet spot of your style and how you incorporate color. Okay. So big shout outs to the reds and the purples, and those turquoise blues and those emerald greens. Like those are great places to start of infusing some color into your wardrobe with your clothing and with your accessories. Lastly, in the beauty department, right, you might want to incorporate some color into your makeup, right? Your lip color is a very easy place to start. If you've been told, oh, don't wear red, don't wear too many bright lipsticks in the workplace, et cetera, all of that is untrue, okay? You can wear bright colors, and especially the bottom line is it should align to you. Your personal style should align and tell more about who you are. It should be authentic to you. If you are doing it with that lens, it's going to be fine. Because when people see that, they know that that's something that you do and it makes sense for your style. Having a bold bright lip color, yes, it is a bold take. It is letting somebody know, like, I have bold ideas. I have high energy. Like, I am going to engage with you. Like, that's the message that it sends, right? So if that's part of your professional image, rock on, do your thing, okay? So it might be that lip color. And honestly, for every woman, have a red lip. Like, red is the color that you should definitely have in your wardrobe in some way, shape, or form. It is a power color. It's the most distinct color and most noticeable color of all the colors. So you should have red in your wardrobe in some way, okay? Whether that's just a red lip, whether there's red glasses, red nail polish, a red earring, a red blouse, a red suit, you want to have red pump, have red. Have a touch of red or a lot of red, depending on your style, in your closet, okay? So when it comes to that beauty space, again, it could be the nails, like, there's so much richness. Maybe you're doing your more eye makeup. Maybe you have your hair colored. Whatever space it is, again, it must connect to you. It must be authentic to you. That is the bottom line, okay? You really want to have that. And if you're in a space where you're like hearing these things about color and you're like, well, I'm not even sure what my personal style is, you need to take a step back and get some clarity on that. Okay. And one of the best ways to get clarity about what your personal style is to definitely create a mood board for yourself. So pull out, love the heart on Canva, right? Pull out that Canva, pull out the Pinterest, pull out the Instagram, and create and collect and save some images of women in styles and in colors that you really love. Okay, that's going to give you some inspiration, so you're not just feeling like you out here wandering in the forest, okay, like a little lost deer. No, have your compass, have your guide, have that mood board that you can refer to and be like, you know what, this is the kind of style that I really want to have. Not the kind of style you have now. This is we talking about the vision. This is the direction I want to go in with my style. This is the style that I aspire to have. Okay, so you put those kinds of images out there. All right. And then that can give you some inspiration and some guidance. Yes, Fenty and the lip bar. I love the lip bar for their reds. Boss Lady and Hot Mama are the ones that I use. Like, and that's the other space too. That's such a good point, Portia. Like, if you're a woman of color, there are so many more makeup brands out here that are able to give you colors in lip colors that are going to complement your skin tone so much. So you can really see, and this is again too, even for your makeup, you might create a mood board for beauty. You might create a mood board for hairstyles, for nail colors or nail designs. Like, have these images, get inspired, because then when you're at the point where you're like, okay, I want to invest in some makeup, some lip colors, or you're at the nail salon and you're like, I want to do a color this time. I always do, a natural blush, but now I want to add a little bit of color to the mix. Like, you have those images saved, have that inspiration saved so you can pull it up. Boop, boop, I want to try this design, and have that conversation and be like, boop, okay, I see on Fenty's site, there's a woman whose skin complexion is just like mine. This is going to work for her. And even on the Lip Bar's website, they have some kind of tool where they'll tell you, depending on what information you put in, they'll tell you what colors work best for you. So, like, utilize the technology and the resources that are out here that have been created so that you can be successful with your style, with your beauty, because the resources are out there. Okay. All right. Let me do one thing, because I want to share my screen, and we're going to talk lastly just a little bit about different colors and the meanings of different colors. So if you're still thinking like, what colors should I be wearing? What colors do I want to invest in, we can talk a little bit about that. So let me, okay, share screen. Bop, bop. We want to share this. Let's share. Let's see. Let me come back to StreamYard. Okay, back. All right. So this is just one reference. This is something that I share with my clients inside of the Style Elevation Experience as part of my curriculum that I teach and share, just about color language. So you want to select colors that align with your talents and the impressions you want to make. Colors have meaning, right? Different colors have energy, right? Colors have energy. So if you're thinking about, well, what colors do I really want to explore? This could be a helpful reference for you, because this could align with the kind of impression and the kind of person that you are. So red, passion, powerful, intensity. Like I mentioned many times, red is the most noticeable color. So if you are after making a power move, if you are looking to really set the impression that you are about your business and you are a boss and you are to be taken seriously, and you want to give that impression and even give yourself that confidence boost, red is the way to go. All right. Add that red up in that closet. Orange, energetic, cheerful, and warm. Orange is a great color about creativity, right? And so if you are a high energy individual and you want to share that kind of energy and you want to share that kind of message with your audience, orange is a phenomenal color. Okay. Orange can also be a great color too if you're like in a space and maybe you're giving a presentation or you're going to be on a panel. And sometimes we're like, oh, am I doing too much? I don't want to do too much red. Oh my gosh, it might be a lot. Okay, maybe you ain't ready for red yet. You are, but maybe you feel like you ain't, even though you are. You could go to orange. All right. Orange is a great space to play in. Okay. And so again, that energetic piece is so real. Like, and that translate whether it's in person or virtually. All right. All of these concepts around color completely transfer, whether you are in person with somebody or you are doing something virtually. I cannot tell you. It even transfers like even more virtually, because people tend to relax when it comes to the Zoom situation. And for you to come in and be like, here I am wearing a great color that's like literally giving you energy and warmth. Phenomenal way to communicate and have a commanding presence that leaves a great impression for your audience, your peers, your boss, etc. Yellow, hopeful, joyful, active. Who don't love some good joy? Okay, who don't love some good joy? All right, we love yellow. All right, yellow is a great color. And yellow, I think orange and yellow are amazing colors, underutilized colors, and they're probably the colors that people get nervous about the most. Okay, because they're probably the most vibrant, right? But again, remember, when you're looking at yellow, maybe you're looking at this fluorescent yellow on the screen, you're like, no, ooh, that's a lot of yellow. That's a little too rich for me. Go a few notches darker, right? Maybe your yellow is going to fall more into the golden yellow area, right? It's going to be a little bit deeper. All good. The message and the meaning behind it is still going to carry, right? You're going to carry that energy of hopefulness and joyfulness. So if that's part of your DNA, of like your personality, like if that's part of what you bring to the table with your teams, with your peers, like if you're doing an interview and you're speaking and you're talking about that's the kind of person I am to work with, I bring that kind of energy to the table, send and communicate that message by adding some yellow into your wardrobe. Green. growth, natural, fresh. Green is also a really great color around tranquility and a peacefulness. I mean, literally, when you think about green, think about nature, right? And I love it because green is definitely a color that I've told different clients this before. Like, if you're entering into what could be a contentious meeting or situation, green can be a very calming color. All right, it can be a very calming color that is also definitely 100% refreshing. Like, it adds some ease into the space and into the room. And again, it's a great color that looks great on so many different skin tones that you don't have to think so much about it. Okay. You can just put on the green and rock it out. So if you definitely want to have that energy and send that energy of a refreshness, green is a great color to play with. Blue, okay? Blue is also calming, but blue especially is that responsible piece and stable. That's really the big message behind blue as well. So you've noticed probably, especially in industries like the finance industry, right? People, when you think about somebody dealing with your money, you like, yes, you better be responsible and stable. Talking about my IRA and 401k. So you will see that a lot of people who work in finance, banking, wearing suits, blue, navy blue in the professional spaces of all of these different industries. It's not a coincidence that blue is a color that has been associated with being a professional and being in the corporate space or being in any kind of job where you are offering a service to a client or customer, right? People like dependability. Okay. And so blue communicates that. So that's why you see so much navy blue out there. So what you're doing now is you just want to turn up the brightness on the blue. All right. It could be this fabulous cobalt blue that's happening right here. Allow blue to definitely play a space in your wardrobe, because you do want to always, people love that feeling of stability and responsibility and dependability when it comes to your impressions. Okay. And last but certainly not least, violet or purple, that creative energy, ambitious, and that luxury piece. Okay. We love that luxurious element that comes with violet and purple. All right. And so I talked a lot about fuchsia earlier. Fuchsia definitely falls into this space of purple as well. So if you are, this is for me, especially women, I feel like red and purple are your power colors. Like, I think purple is an amazing power color for women, and that looks so good on all skin types, like in skin tones. Like, it really does. And so it's a great power color, and it can be very feminine as well. Sometimes red can have a masculine feel to it for some folks, where you're like, ooh, that's very intense, to the point where it feels intimidating. And if that doesn't align with the kind of impression that you want to make, you might opt for doing more purple in your wardrobe, because that's going to give the ambitious element, but it's also going to add some femininity, and it's going to give that luxury. Who doesn't love that feeling of like class and sophistication, right? We love that all day. Okay. Yes. Royal, regal, purple carries all of that energy. So I hope this is a helpful go-to. Yes, y'all know every now and then I pop out with a good slide for y'all and go into my treasure chest of jewels, and I share with my clients and give you something I think will be hopefully valuable to you if you're thinking about dabbling in colors and you're trying to figure out which ones really work well with you. This is an excellent place to reference. And I already shared some of my fan favorites in that red, that green, and that violet space. So if this is helpful for you, definitely let me know in the comments. Go ahead and do that screen capture, child. Pull out that phone, snap that photo, okay? Utilize this as you're thinking about ways to incorporate color into your wardrobe to elevate your style game. All right. All right, y'all. That wraps it up for the conversation today, all about color. I hope this was helpful. You already know the drill, or if you're here for the first time, the drill is pop in the comments. Let me know what your big takeaway was. Let me know how you're going to incorporate color into your closet. I want to know how you're going to incorporate color. Where is it going to be? What colors are you going to start looking for? What are you going to do the next time you're going shopping and not buying black? What are you going to do? I want to know where you going to start. Come on, good friend. And as Portia has fabulously dropped in the comments, I am teaching a free webinar next Tuesday, the 21st at 12 o'clock. It's going to be one of those lunch and learn kind of vibes. So pull up, grab your lunch, come through. The registration link is right there. Portia dropped in the comments. Thank you so much, friend. It's free. It's completely free. And we're talking all about personal style and branding. And so I'm going to be talking about creating a personal style that aligns with the brand that you desire. So we're going to be talking about the importance of clothing and how it can connect with you and be a differentiating point for you to create a brand that is memorable and distinct. So if you've been thinking about branding and you're like, what does this whole thing mean? And how does it play and connect with what I wear? Pull on up, come through. All right. And I'll definitely pop. I don't know if I can like pin a comment with a LinkedIn Live. I'll see if I can do that and try to pin the registration link. But if Portia already dropped it in the comments. Thank you so much. So hopefully you capture it there. I did a post yesterday about it. And if you still are looking for the link and you cannot find it, just drop me a DM. Say, I want to come to the free webinar and I will send you the link. All right. I hope y'all have a great, great Wednesday. And I will not see you next week because I will be heading to Detroit to see some family for Thanksgiving. So if you do celebrate the holiday, or maybe you don't even celebrate the holiday, but you just appreciate the time to be with family, I wish you well and safe travels. And yeah, hopefully I will see you on Tuesday at the webinar. Okay? All right. Have a great Wednesday. Bye-bye.